What's going on, everyone? Dustin Zahner with Creating the Difference. Look, I got that brand new Hammer Black Pearl Urethane, their newest urethane ball, and it's 78 hardness. So we're going to, throw some shots with this bowling ball, compare it to a bowling ball that's been in the line for a while, the Purple Hammer, and then we're going to show you a little trick to help change that ball reaction of these harder urethane bowling balls so you get the most versatility out of your equipment. So we got fresh surface on this bowling ball. So this first shot is going to hook more, so it is not going to count towards our performance. Slipped a little bit, but that's all right. So with these newer urethane bowling balls, specifically the PBA rule, those bowling balls have to be 78 hardness. So for you, the average consumer, if you're not bowling on the PBA tour, you have a wider range of options as opposed to those guys on tour. Those guys on tour can only throw the bowling balls that are 78 and can't throw the bowling balls that are at 73. So I'm going to be in that same part of the lane. And now, since we got that fresh surface off, we'll see what we got. Pretty close. Good shot, good shot. So the format for the video is going to be similar to the one that we launched on the release day of this bowling ball, featuring Ron. So Ron obviously is left-handed. We have about the same ball speed, but my rev rate is about 100 higher than his. So you're gonna get two different views with this type of bowling ball to see, if it's actually going to fit in your arsenal. So that was a good shot. I mean, lane play wise, it was dead on top of where the other one was. So we'll keep grinding away. Another good shot. Oh! Close. Can't tell you the last time I almost 7-9 with a bowling ball, or with a urethane ball anyways. But, so the hardness overall is going to drastically change the performance between the Black Pearl and the Purple Pearl. Those are 5 points of difference in hardness. So we're going to see a larger footprint and overall more performance with the Purple as opposed to the Black. But we're going to, like I said, show you a way to maximize the performance of this bowling ball if you're going to invest in one. I'm going to stay in the same part of the lane, but I'm just gonna bump my feet one back to the right. I'm gonna make sure I try to roll this one. So that was close. So it was a good shot. I mean, it's exactly what I wanted to do. So I'll go that one back left, and we'll just keep grinding away on that spot. And then we'll throw some shots with the Purple just to see the comparison between these two bowling balls. That's the biggest question. How is it going to compare to the Purple? That bowling ball's been in, bowling for 8 years at this point, 9 years at this point, and is a really, really trusted piece, especially amongst the tour players. So we're going to see how those two balls stack up. And we've done some tests on this bowling ball. It is a urethane bowling ball. It is not reactive. So I'll go ahead and bump one back to the left. We'll see what we got. Another good shot. So now we're starting to probably experience a little bit of surface change along with maybe a little bit of carry down. I've only thrown a couple shots, so we're not going to get a lot of carry down so far. So I would imagine a lot of it is going to be the surface change. The bowling ball comes out of the box with 500 grit. So over time, that's going to be working its way up to 4,700. So at this point, that surface has changed. So we might have to just adjust a little bit what we're doing physically to get that ball to the pocket. So I'm going to stand in the same spot, but I'm just going to adjust the ball speed a little bit just to be a little slower. So definitely more performance. for sure. That was 0.3 miles an hour slower. I think if we go just a little more, we're gonna be right there, right back in the pocket. And you can see with this type of performance, that is earlier and not as much down lane. That's a characteristic of traction and urethane bowling balls. They're gonna hook earlier and be tamer down lane. So again, same part of the lane. Just gonna try to drop the ball speed just a little bit more. Pretty close. So that was 0.7 different from the original shot that was 19.1, and that shot actually got a little further right and it came back and recovered. So if I throw the same shot, don't miss right, we're right back in the pocket. And again, I mean, I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of this. Super predictable. That's good. Oh, it's a wicked 7-pin. Wicked 7-pin. So we'll go ahead and throw one more with that ball, and then we'll go to the purple, see how it compares. And then we're gonna go ahead and do a surface change on this black pearl. I mentioned in the beginning, we're gonna show you a way to give you a little bit more versatility out of these urethane bowling balls, especially the harder ones. And that surface change is where it's at. All right, so because I've left all of those 7 pins, specifically because it's those light mixer hits, I want to have those flush hits. Like the urethane bowling balls don't continue like reactive does. So I need to make sure the ball is going through the pins the right way. So I'm going to move a board to the right and just trust a good shot. I mean, a little light, but throwing some logs, so we'll go ahead and move on to the purple. See how that compares to that black pearl. So the purple does have fresh surface on it, which is 500 grit. So the first shot, like the black pearl, is not gonna count. I'll just tell you right now, when this ball starts to hook, don't laugh. Almost missed a head pin to the left. So now that we've got a shot on that bowling ball, we'll just try to get lined up with it. See how different it is from the black pearl, so you have a good idea of how those balls differ, and if you want to add both, how they compare to each other. All right, so I'll go ahead and throw it in the same spot just because it had that fresh surface, but I would imagine I'm gonna have to move left. I mean, that was pretty close. Definitely more overall hook, just based off how it went through the pins. So I will go ahead and move to the left just to see what it's gonna be like. So I'll move 3 and 2 to the left. We'll see where we're at and how it compares. All right, I had initially said I was gonna move 3 and 2, but I'm gonna go ahead and do a 2 and 2. So I don't open up the launch angle a whole lot, just a parallel move. Right there, right there. Physically need to throw it a little bit better, but that got back. So if I throw it good, that's flush every single time. But the purple definitely is a little bit more performance than the black. And honestly, a lot of that is relative to the hardness. They're 5 points different in hardness. So the purple is gonna give me a little bit more performance relative to the black. All right, so we're still gonna do that 2 and 2 and see what we got. Physically, that was great. Physically, that was really, really good. So we're getting back to the head pin. Again, we're in that light mixer range, so I might actually move 1 and 1 back to the right and see how they compare. So we'll make a little move, and we should be right there. Bang. Great shot. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the shop. We're actually going to change the surface of that black pearl to 240 grit. And that we're going to talk about how you can get some more versatility out of these bowling balls. All right, so we're in the shop now. We got a brand new 240 grit True Cut resurfacing pad, and we're going to put some surface on the black pearl urethane. I'm going to use plenty of True Cut conditioner. These pads are extremely aggressive, so we want to get them wet so we don't destroy the ball as well as the pad. So I'm just going to do one pass. Just like that. Just going to get any excess residue off. I'm going to do 4 sides. So we're going to flip the ball over, add a little bit more conditioner, and we're going to do the same thing. Down, back up. That's one pass. We got side number 3 done. We're going to flip it over another 180 degrees. More conditioner. And one final pass. So now we're going to take it back out on the lanes and see what kind of performance we got. All right, so we're back from the shop. We got 240 grit True Cut on this bowling ball, the black pearl urethane. So we're going to see a little bit more performance out of this bowling ball and see what kind of versatility it can give us relative to the factory finish. So I'll say it again, just like the purple and just like the black pearl with the box finish, this first shot's not going to count. It's probably a good thing it didn't count because there was a big miss left, but that's okay. That's okay. So with the additional surface, we're going to see more overall performance out of the ball itself. It's not going to be down lane, it's just going to be earlier performance. And the surface that it's at, that surface is going to last a lot longer relative to the factory finish because it is a much more aggressive grit. So that was really, really close to where we were, as well as with the purple too. So we're going to have to move again. Just like with the purple, we don't really want to open up the launch angles a whole lot. So these moves are going to be parallel moves into more oil. So what I'll do is I'll move another 2 and 2 with the black pearl based off of where I was with the purple pearl, and we'll see what we got. And over time, you're going to be carrying that oil down the lane. So you want to get away from that as much as possible. So we'll go 2 and 2. 2 left with the feet, 2 left with the eyes. We'll see where we're at. So that one, the move in the front part of the lane was right. It was the 2. But the launch angle was still, it was open. Like it was too open. But not open enough to where it couldn't get back to the pocket. That is where the more surface comes into play. Putting more surface on this bowling ball gives you more overall performance out of the ball compared to the box finish. That shot was good. So I think we just stay there. Bang. Another good shot. So what I want to make one more shot. I want to show you the performance of that bowling ball where we initially were at the box finish, and then we'll throw one more good shot with that surface, and we'll be good. We're moving quite a bit back to the right here. I want to show you the performance of where I initially was standing. So a little square up the lane, but pretty close. You can see overall more performance out of the ball simply because we changed the surface of it. And you can use those resurfacing pads both on a spinner and by hand. There we go. That parallel move does pretty good there. Again, with these urethane bowling balls, opening up the launch angle because the bowling ball is so early doesn't give you the opportunity to get those flush strikes like you need to. That bowling ball is so early where it's just going to roll forward. It's a more reliable motion, but is not good for opening up the launch angles. So if you have any more questions, any more information, check us out at ccdbowling.com. We appreciate you watching the video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment what you think of this brand new bowling ball. I am Dustin Zahner with Creating the Difference. Have a great day.